Friends, parents, distinguished guests. Friends, parents, distinguished guests, welcome to the 2025 Ambassador Great Debate. Please welcome to the stage your 2020.
What am I saying? Friends, parents, distinguished guests, 2025 Texas Ambassador Great Debate participants. Welcome to the 2025 Texas Great Debate. The director of the Texas Great Debate, a 2023 alumna of Austin College, 2019 graduate of Hayes High School and the Northeast Collegiate World Series, 2018 president of the Senate at the LDZ Las Americas, and former cross-examination with NHI at Austin at the 2018 Texas Great Debate, Isabela Nicole Sada Nieto.
Welcome to the 2025 Texas Ambassador Great Debate. How are we feeling? Oh, wow. Good job. But you were louder like 5 minutes ago. My ear is still kind of ringing, to be honest. So I know that you can be louder than that. So we're going to try this again. All right, I want you to give it all you got. How are we doing? Okay, that's better. Oh my goodness. There's so much energy. This is truly special because we're back. This is amazing work. We are back at the Texas Ambassador Great Debate. We haven't done this since 2019, so please let's give this a round of applause. I want to take a moment to acknowledge how historic this is. Our founders, Ernesto and Gloria, had a vision when they began their journey with the National Hispanic Institute. And they wanted to craft a space for young leaders like you to learn what it really means to own your ideas and to become true ambassadors for the communities you're representing. The Texas Ambassador Great Debate serves as an invitation for growing communities. This is a program for students and staff who go out of their way to pave the path for others to follow, and for those who wish to create new opportunities for themselves. This room is my favorite. Okay, brief intermission, love it. Shout out to Selena, shout out to Corpus. All right. Well, now it's special because of that moment, which that's amazing, love. But let me tell you why I think this room is special. In this room, there is a participant who went out of their way to interview Ernesto Nieto as they prepared for this experience. In this room, there's a head coach who took it upon herself to recruit, train, and build a team to ensure that her city was represented. And that was only done in a matter of weeks. In this room, there is a participant who is taking on the challenge of being the only participant representing the state of New Mexico. You're absolutely right. We should celebrate that. And we should celebrate that there is another student who is representing the city of Monterrey, Mexico. And it's at the Texas Ambassador Great Debate that we are able to welcome emerging regions like Guadalajara, Mexico. It's at the Texas Ambassador Great Debate where you will hear more stories like this. I want you to understand how powerful this room is. Les voy a dar un reto. Quiero que vean esta experiencia con los ojos de oportunidad. Con la oportunidad de definir lo que en verdad significa representar a tu comunidad. I've been involved with NHI for 10 years now, and I've had the honor to learn from some of the people I believe are the truest ambassadors of NHI's mission and NHI's voice. And with that, I'd like to acknowledge our outstanding team of directors, specialists, volunteers who have worked tirelessly over the past couple of months to bring this experience together. So, the best people who are ambassadors of your region are your project administrators. If your name is called, I ask that you stand to be recognized. There are some people on this list that couldn't be here today, but their contributions mean the world to us. From NHI Austin, Natalia Chapo Mills and Lázaro Garza. From NHI Corpus, Diana Villarreal and Nathan Valdez. From NHI El Paso, Reynold Gonzalez. From NHI Guadalajara, Amaya Castellón and Rodrigo Rosales Vizoso. From NHI Houston, Sonia Lopez and Paola Hernandez. From NHI San Antonio, Julie Tomasino, Bianca de Hoyos, the Gonzalez family, and Anita Fernandez. From NHI Tip of Texas, Tino Villarreal, Jorge Lee, and special thank you to Carlos Hernandez for representing their efforts here today. Let's give our PAs one more round of applause. If you are a head coach, a JFL, a volunteer staff member, or a staff on our core staff, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. I encourage all of us to take it upon ourselves today to personally thank those who have invested in our journey. We also need to take a moment to thank our sponsors who have specifically invested in the Great Debate experience and in your communities. We thank you for your investment. But before we take a step further in our journey, I want to ask you to join me in thanking our lifelong partner and friend to the National Hispanic Institute, our host partner, St. Mary's University. And to give us a warm welcome, the Assistant Vice President, Office of Alumni Engagement, and a member of the NHI Familia, please join me in welcoming John Carrillo.
All right, well, on behalf of our university president, Dr. Winston Arabelis, I want to officially welcome you to St. Mary's University. Yeah, it's a great place. I'm not only proud to be here as both an alumnus of St. Mary's and NHI programs, but also to be representing our university. It has been a founding member of the Hispanic Association of Colleges and University and is and I want to repeat, the original Hispanic serving institution. So what do I actually mean by that? Part of our founding mission was to serve students in this community, Latinos primarily, who were unable to get an education in the city otherwise when this university was founded. Since our inception in 1852, we have served the Latino community, and the fact of the matter is that no other institution, university in this city or this state can say that. And it's something that we're very proud of here at St. Mary's. And that tradition remains strong today with over 70% of our student population being Latino. I encourage you all to take the next couple of days to really enjoy life on campus. It really is a beautiful campus. I'm obviously very biased, but it is a beautiful campus. My expectation is that every one of you will go to college. I was telling the parents earlier in their session that I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, you're going to go to college, you're going to go to university. Hopefully, some of you will come here. We do have a good number of alumni from NHI that come here. But I really want you to enjoy that fact and really enjoy this first taste of what it means to be a college student, because you're going to be on your own. I mean, you're going to have, curfew and all that other kind of stuff, but this is your first taste of what it's going to be like to be a college student, and it's wonderful. I truly hope that you all have a wonderful time here with us, and I'm so excited for all the learning that's going to happen and the lifelong friendships that you're going to make from other people from across the state and internationally, which is fantastic. My only request is that if you do see me walking around, don't be afraid. I know I got a suit on, but come up, say hi, introduce yourselves. I love nothing more than to tell you all about St. Mary's and all about my journey with NHI and how foundational it was to my experience. So again, thank you for saying yes to NHI, and thank you for coming to St. Mary's University.
Thank you once again, St. Mary's University, for your continued investment. We hope to continue to add to the legacy, and I hope personally that this group continues their journey here in San Antonio when you choose to go to college. I want to introduce you to a very special person. This individual has been involved with the National Hispanic Institute since 2011. Born and raised in the Rio Grande Valley, his journey with NHI began at the Texas Great Debate, and he carried on to participate in the 2012 Colorado LDZ. And in 2013, he went to the Texas Collegiate World Series. Today, he serves as the Associate Vice President of Business and Development for the National Hispanic Institute. Please join us in welcoming one of your education directors, Efrain Cordova.
Welcome. Bienvenidos. Like Bella said, we haven't been here since 2019 at the Texas Ambassador Great Debate. So please give yourselves a round of applause for inaugurating this program again here at St. Mary's in 2025. Thank you for being here. This is the Great Debate. This is where your voice, your stories, and your ideas aren't just part of the experience. They're the foundation of the future that we're here to imagine. Through your dialogue, we're here to create a space that is built by your imagination, shaped by your questions, empowered by the belief that the Latino community and its future begins here with us and how you choose to lead today. This is the challenge you've been preparing for, being in this room surrounded by some of your brightest peers from around the state of Texas, New Mexico, and from Guadalajara. Think about it. How many opportunities do you think you'll have to be in a room full of this many capable people? This is your community now. So, as the Ambassador Great Debate begins, and you head into your first rounds tomorrow, I also want you to challenge yourself to step into something bigger. Community equity building isn't just a popular catchphrase that we have here at NHI. It's a commitment to believing that leadership begins by building value within your community. That by investing in ourselves, we unlock the talent, the creativity, and the shared capacity needed to turn vision into reality. CEB leaders understand that progress doesn't just come from fixing what's broken, but from amplifying what's already working. They focus not just on what we can overcome, but what we can build. And this idea that leadership begins with investing in each other, it's not just a theory to me, it's personal. I grew up in the Rio Grande Valley, and back then I was very quiet, and I was shy enough that frankly, making a class presentation in front of 5 of my best friends would have terrified me. I wouldn't have done it, I promise you. I would have rather taken the F. And one day in high school, a friend invited me to join a leadership program where he was going to volunteer at. He said it was a debate conference for top students all over Texas, and I didn't know what to expect, but it scared me. I already knew what I was like in front of people, and yet a part of me knew that I needed it. So I let myself get excited, and I rushed home that day to tell my parents about it, to tell them that this was something I really needed to do for myself. And my excitement quickly turned into quiet disappointment because I realized we weren't going to be able to afford this for myself. So I sat back, I watched as all of my friends went to training, and I just stayed by on the sidelines until 2 days before the Texas Great Debate. I'll never forget that call. Someone hadn't given up on me because they knew I wanted to go. They found a sponsor in my community that covered the entire cost of me attending the Great Debate. They only had one question for me: are you in? And before I knew it, I was in a car getting sped over to somebody else's house to learn a little something called cross-examination. That was 14 years ago. And ever since then, I haven't stopped or looked back. You're here because someone in your community already identified something of value in you, something powerful that's worth believing in and investing in. But you also chose to be here. And it's going to be up to you to decide what this experience is going to mean for you. Throughout this great debate, I want you to ask yourself, what kind of leader do you aspire to become? What strengths in your community are waiting for your leadership to take them to the next level? What bold ideas are out there that remain unexplored? And how will you work with the peers around you to craft agendas to bring them into reality? The truth is, NHI isn't here to prepare you to be passive participants in the world. We're here to get you to reshape it. The challenges that are facing our community today are very real, but so is our collective resolve and our collective imagination. That's why your time here matters. Not just today, and not just this week, but for the many years to come and the many communities that you're going to impact. If you carry a vision for your community, one of the NHI fundamentals that I keep very close to my heart is number 17. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. So this summer, you're not just great debaters. You are authors of new truths. You are architects of a new reality. You are leaders who show up not just to compete, but to contribute to something bigger. So ask the bigger questions. Be willing to shape what others think is possible. And most of all, believe that what we build together starts now and will echo forward through all the lives that you will impact. This moment marks your official induction into the National Hispanic Institute. So I only have one question for you. Are you in? Then here is your first challenge. Every round, every speech, and every argument you make this week is an opportunity to practice a new kind of thinking. At registration, you should have been given your very own personal NHI notebook. On the last page, all the way to the back, where you can easily find it, I want you to keep a CEB journal. I want this to be a space where you can jot down moments during your rounds or in the halls where you noticed existing equity in somebody else's ideas or their arguments. Ideas from your debate rounds that you think could strengthen our community if we implemented them. I want you to think about what kinds of leadership we're going to need 10 years from now. And at the end of the program, you will be invited to share a key CEB insight that you've developed during the week and/or a new standard or value that you want to set for our community. Treat this experience as your leadership lab. This is your rehearsal for real impact and your first chance to begin seeing the world not just as it is, but as it could be. Again, congratulations on making it this far. Thank you for being here. Bienvenidos y buena suerte. That's enough from me. The next individual that I'd like to present up to the stage has been involved with the National Hispanic Institute since 2007. She was born and raised in Monterrey, Mexico, and her journey with NHI began at the Lorenzo de Zavala Youth Legislative Session in Monterrey. Her volunteering only started 1 week after her first NHI program. Through the years, she's had numerous roles at NHI, including interning at HQ for 2 summers, and running our international office at Villanova University for over 6 years. Today, she remains involved as an educational director for Great Debates and as a consultant for the Monterrey region. So please help me with a warm round of applause. Welcome to the stage, my co-educational director, Gabriela Morales.
Hello, how is everybody? I'm going to ask again, because honestly, the energy here has been amazing. So once again, how are you today? ¿Cómo están? I am incredibly grateful to be here. Like if I just said, I've been involved with NHI for a really long time. And as I stand here, I am incredibly grateful for many things that NHI has given me throughout the years. But today I want to mention two very specific things that I'm grateful for. The first is the ability to believe in myself. Believe it or not, a long time ago, before I started with NHI, I was never comfortable on stage. In fact, it was not something that I sought to do. I hated the stage. And part of it was because I never really believed that I had anything important to say on stage. And so during my first program at NHI, I remember very distinctly that I met this young man who was a JFL, and he was asking me about my aspirations in life. And so I went and I was telling him what I wanted to do. And, I wanted to stay in Monterrey, and I wanted to have a house, and I wanted to study psychology because I was really interested in that. I was like, I want to have my little place in my house and stay there. And I remember that he was looking at me. He's like, no. And I was like, what do you mean no? And he's like, that's not what you want to do. I was super confused. I had never met this person before. So I'm like, how do you know what I want to do? And he was like, I think you're thinking too small. And so he literally told me that his goal for the entire week was going to be that by the end of the week, I had a completely different dream that actually reflected what I wanted to do in my life. And believe it or not, he achieved that. Because by the end of the week, after my LDC was over, I realized that my dreams at the time reflected a reality that I thought I had for myself that really didn't reflect what I wanted to do. I had an idea of what I was capable of, but it was based on the lack of money that I had, where I was growing up, where I thought I was going to school. And I had never really allowed myself to actually dream big. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to be out there and have adventures. And so after that, I changed my entire life. And as Efra just said, I spent 6 years running our international office, and I was traveling around Panama and the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. NHI not only taught me to really believe in myself, but it gave me the tools to be able to achieve those dreams. And for that, I am incredibly grateful. And I am grateful that I'm here now to help you develop those tools to achieve those dreams that you have. The second thing that I'm grateful for is community. NHI is familia to me. I literally have people here that I used to babysit or that I've known before they were even born at NHI, and they're family to me. I've known them, I know their families, I know the nietos, they're really like family to me. And I know for a lot of you, maybe your NHI community for the past months have only been the teams that you're in, right? And that is a very, very special thing because teams are very important. But as of right now, that community has increased because now your NHI community is everybody who's in this room. So instead of being maybe one person from one city or 3 or 4, 5, 10, 20, now we're 120 people counting staff. So now your community of NHI is even bigger. And if you're a little lucky and you stick with us and you come back and you come to the LDC and you come to the CWS and you come and staff, that community will continue to increase. And your community will go way outside of Texas, of Mexico. It will be international. And honestly, some of the people that I met here have become familia. They're my best friends. And I feel lucky that I get to come here every summer and I get to work with people that inspire me, that I love, that I really, really look up to, and that I'm happy I get to call my community and my familia. So today, I want to welcome each and every one of you to that familia, to that community, because now you're part of it. There's no going out. Once you're an NHIer, you're an NHI forever. So welcome to the Great Debate. Welcome to NHI, and welcome to the familia. Now, as we start to wrap up this ceremony, I want to introduce two very important people who will also be helping Efra and I during this program, and those are our associate educational directors. Born and raised in El Paso, Texas, this individual's NHI journey began in 2015 Texas Great Debate as a participant in oratory, followed by the 2016 California LDC and the 2017 Northeast CWS. She has served as a former head coach as assistant PA of El Paso and as a tournament director as a Secretary of State on various NHI leadership experiences across the country. She now lives and works in New York City as a community engagement specialist and urban planner. Please help me welcome Assistant Educational Director and Atheneum Director, Maya Navar. I would also like to welcome another individual who has been involved with NHI since 2019 in her Texas Great Debate. She was born and raised in Corpus Christi, Texas. She has gone on to staff multiple Texas Great Debate programs as head coach and recently a tournament director and is a PA for Corpus Christi. She's a student at Purdue University studying pharmaceutical sciences and works as a pharmacist technician in Indiana. Please help me welcoming our Atheneum Director, Maya Castillo.
Thank you so much. So you've already met your educational directors, Efrain Cordova and Gaby Morales, and your program manager, Isabel Estrada from San Marcos, Texas. But there are some other special people I would like you guys to meet. Our on-site director, the woman making this all happen behind the scenes, is Annalisa Arguello from San Antonio, Texas. Working alongside her as assistant on-site and JFL intern from San Antonio, Texas, is Sofia Garza Cerelli. Additionally, I would like you guys to meet our Stay Safe officer from Dallas, Texas, Alex Torres.
Our tournament director from San Antonio, Texas, is Nathan Lara. And our assistant tournament director from Houston, Texas, is Sam Malloy. Our co-directors of judging are Humberto Serna from El Paso, Texas. And our production team who made this so beautiful today is led by two of our wonderful staff members from San Antonio, Texas, Ramiro Cavazos and Lorelai Barro.
Now, look around the room. Look to your left, look to your right, in front of you, and behind you. There's a lot of people from various regions joining us here today. So let's see who they are.
And really quickly, I want to say, the people who are in this room, some of them you've trained with for a couple months, some of them maybe you just met this morning, some of them you're going to meet tomorrow in your rounds. And sure, the people in this room, they might be your competition this weekend, and that's fine. But more importantly, this is your community now. These are your competitors, but they're also your collaborators. So the person who really gives you a run for your money in your first mock trial round, or the judge who you see in your last round of oratory when you're really giving it your all, those people might be your co-head coaches or your co-category directors next year. Those might be the people who you start up the first Guadalajara Great Debate with in 5 years. They're the people you're going to be innovating with not just this weekend, not just this year, not just throughout your LDZ and your CWS, but really for the rest of your life. And so I want you to think really carefully this weekend about the really special gift that you have right now, which is the gift of a first impression. What's the first impression you're going to make? And now that we're talking about meeting people for the first time, let's make sure that we really get to meet the people in the room. So, quick roll call. Where is Austin?
Okay, Austin, I see you. Now, where is Corpus Christi?
All right, next up, where is El Paso?
Now, where is Guadalajara?
Okay, next up, is there anyone here from Houston?
Now, what about our host city? Where's San Antonio?
And finally, where is Tip of Texas? Okay, and I think there's just one more question that we have to ask you all. Who's going to win the Silver Cup? Well,
That one was a tough one. Well, we are certainly going to find out soon, as well as our top individual award recipients, our All-State Award winners, our Athenium Cup, and the Fundamentals Cup. At this time, we say goodbye to our friends and family streaming back home, and we will be streaming live again tomorrow evening for our Sweet 16 ceremony.